Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda. This is a channel predominantly about cross stitch, projects that I stitch on, any finishes that I have and any haul that I may have purchased in the last 2 weeks. How's everyone doing? I've had a kind of rough 2 weeks. I wasn't even sure I was going to film today, and then I thought, yeah, film. Share what you've been doing. I decided to make a video. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see. And if you're returning, thank you very much. And I would like to thank everyone who makes comments every time I make a video, which is really good to receive. You've got to remember, when you make the videos, you're sitting here alone talking to a camera. So it's always nice when people connect with you. I'll give you a little bit of a life update. I will then go through the whips that I've been working on. I also have a new start. I did hope to have some finishes, but no finishes. As I say, it's been quite a rough 2 weeks for a number of reasons. So I've also got some haul, because what's life without haul, to be honest, in my world. Excuse me. A little bit of a life update. The most important thing for me personally is that's now both of my parents have received their COVID-19 vaccines. The first one, which is absolutely fabulous. Both of them, no problems. There's been no side effects. It's all plain sailing. They need to wait now to get their second dose. And the other piece of exciting news is that I go this week for mine. My appointment's on Thursday, and I will also receive my very first vaccine. So that's good news. In terms of lockdown life, because that's all I appear to live at the moment, it's still lockdown here in Scotland. We have some primary schools, I believe, opening up next week. And they've not given us a real kind of what they call roadmap of how we're going to all get out of lockdown. But at the moment, schools seem to be the priority, and then after that they will look at the non-essential shops. So at the moment, it's only the essential shops, the pharmacies, stuff like this, the supermarkets, those sorts of things. Everything else is closed. I'm hoping that the framing shops will open up soon. I have a couple of pieces I would like to take to get framed, professionally framed. So I'm hoping that in the next, I don't know, few weeks maybe, that they open up. And more importantly, that the hairdressers open up. That is, for me, number one. If I know that they're opening up, whether it's in March or April, that will make me much happier. My hair needs both dyed and cut. Maybe I do some home dyeing with my mum if it looks like it's going to be April. I'm not getting any younger. I have a fair amount of grey. I'm not sure if I'm ready to embrace grey yet. So yeah, that's the situation. I just work from home. I go out very, very infrequently. And that's what it has to be at the moment anyway. So yeah, that's a bit of a life update. Nothing really exciting happening with that. So let's talk about cross stitch, will we? The first thing I want to talk about is my book. I mentioned this book a few weeks ago when I first received it for the new year. And I've got to say, I was very, very skeptical. I wasn't sure, would I use it? What would be the purpose? But actually, for me, it's really invaluable. It kind of gives me an idea of what I've been working on, how many days I work on them. I don't count how many stitches or hours or anything like that, but I find it's really good. So if you've got one, let me know if you're using it. And if you haven't got one, I would thoroughly recommend it. It's a really handy little tool, and I'm glad I got one. So that's the first thing I want to talk about, was the importance of that. So at the moment, I've only worked on 2 whips. I started a third, which was a new start, and I'll go through them with you. So the first one that I worked on in the last 2 weeks, and I don't think I've done so much stitching these last 2 weeks, but yeah, yeah, I don't know if I've done so much stitching. Anyway, it's this pattern here. Oh my goodness, how am I a little bit disorganized, apologies. The pattern is by Summerhouse Stitchworks, and it's this one here. You can all see that. Roses are blooming. I'm stitching this on a 28 count fabric I had in my stash, and I'm using the called for DMCs, and this is as far as I've gotten. What you'll remember from the last time is I had pretty much, I think, finished the rows, but I've managed to add in some more trees, do some of the border. I only stitched on this for a few days. I really didn't stitch on it a lot. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it because it's a 28 count, so it's really easy to see. My old eyes don't do well really on anything higher count at all, but this is this one. My plan for this one will be to stitch a little bit more, but it's not really a focus piece to get finished. It's just going to be that I stitch on it every kind of 2 weeks, just a few days, so that I make some sort of progress on it. The next one that I worked on in the last 2 weeks has been this chart here, and this is by, I just received that here. Okay, so this is by Kathy Barrick. It's a bird study. I really enjoyed stitching on this one, and I actually picked it up again in the last 2 days to get some more progress. I'm stitching this on 32 count Bee's Knees by Seraphim Fabrics. I'm just removing my chart because I attach it normally like this. So, and excuse this random thread that I have, but here it is here. So if you probably don't remember, but the last time I worked on this project, I hadn't really done so much. If you just give me a second, I'll remove this so you don't have to see it. So I think the last time that you saw it, here we go. I had completed the swan and this bird here, and I'd started the egg. I then went on and finished the whole border, and there was a mistake, so I had to frog a little bit, but I finished the border, did the top and the bottom, and then I stitched my owl. I'm thinking this is going to be a bit of a focus piece in the next 2 weeks. I would like to try and get it wrapped up. There's not so much left to do. Obviously I have one further bird to do and the eggs, so I'm making good progress on it, and I would really like to try and get it finished by the next time I record a video, so within 2 weeks. It's charted for MPIs. I haven't used MPIs. I've used the DMC alternative, which is in the chart, and as I say, it's 32 count Bee's Knees by Seraphim Fabric. It's fabulous fabric to work on. It's been absolutely great, and that's my progress on it, and I'm hoping maybe the next time you see this, it will be fully finished. No, that's not true. It will be finished. It will not be fully finished. Because if you know me, fully finishing is like the last thing from my mind when I'm stitching. So it will be finished, not fully finished. So that's been a really enjoyable stitch. So I know some people, I think, had mentioned that they had bought it, so I would thoroughly recommend that one. And the third project that I worked on was a new start. So what we have here, and I know at least of 2 people, I think, one who had finished it because they told me on Instagram, and another one who I believe was working on it. So it's this one here by the Scarlet House, Morning Walk. Now, I really liked this one, and when I took the notion to stitch it, I was like, oh yes, I'll have everything I need in my stash. I have a stash that would, you could build houses out of. And then I went to my stash and I had like hardly anything of it. I suspect most of the over dyes were in other projects. So I then went to my DMC, and I don't have a full DMC, and I went scouring around to see what I had, and I didn't really have everything that was called for. So I did a Amanda conversion. Um, so first of all, I'll show you where I'm at. Let me just remove some of this excess stuff so you don't have to see it. Okay, so the fabric that I'm stitching this on, I think, is a Picture This Plus. I will check and let you know. So here is my progress. And this is none of the called for threads. This is my this is my conversion. First of all, if you look at the chart, you will see, first of all, I'm not even using any vague fabric that looks the same. I tried to match as best I could with what I thought the colours were. And at this point, I should tell you, I also have a DMC chart that I didn't pull. So mine looks a little bit more autumnal, maybe, but it's certainly not what the designer called for. But I'm happy with it. I'm okay with it. You know, when you stitch something, you're making it your own anyway. But yeah, it's not a good representation of what the designer wanted. Now, the threads that I'm using, it's just a whole mixture of DMC that I pulled. So I don't think there is one there which is the called for. And the fabric, if I can get a little bit more organised, I am not organised. Here is the packet for the fabric. It is Picture This Plus, and it's Helix 32 count. So that's what I chose to do morning walk on. I'm still really liking it. I mean, I know it's not really what the designer charted for, and I'm not actually a great one for going rogue at all, but it is what it is. And I have a little white cat needle minder, which is of course a representation of Alba. So yeah, that was my new start. Now I'm going to be super ambitious, and I'm going to make claims that by the next time I make a video in 2 weeks' time, this will also be finished. I really want to try and wrap up these two projects, because on this one, I don't have so much to do. I mean, it's a good few nights of doing the grass at the bottom, to be honest. And that's a good few nights of stitching for that house. But we're almost there. I'm almost there with it. So I really do want to power on and try and finish these two projects within the next 2 weeks. And I think I could do it. But these are famous last words. You know, we all think, oh yeah, that'll only take a couple of hours and then it'll be done. But I'm going to try my best. If I can get the two of them finished, I will be super happy. So yeah, that's my stitching for 2 weeks. That's really it. I don't have lots of time to stitch. I do try and stitch every day, but some days after work, I'm just, yeah, it's just a few stitches and then that's it, I'm done. But I have quite a lot of things that I want to be working on. And I don't really want to have my whip pile up at crazy numbers. It's fine for others, it's no problem, more power to you if that's what really is for you. But for me, because what I'm finding now as a stitcher who's been stitching now for a couple of years is that I have this pile of whips that I never touch. And it's not that I don't like them, I really do. There is not one project I think that I've got flying around here that started that I don't like, but I really don't have, there's just not enough stitching time in the day. And with all the designers releasing more and more really good things, I get fearful that this stuff's never going to be touched again, and what's going to happen is that all my current projects I get on with and I get them finished, and yet I still have this little pile, or not really so little pile, of projects that I never touch. So I'm very conscious at the moment, and that might change, but I'm very conscious of the moment of trying to not start too many and try and get some finished. At the moment, I have at least 3 or 4 that are in the back of my mind that I would like to start. So if I can get these 2 finished, then I can start 2 more. And these ones that I want to start are not so big. So they're not like a big commitment for a year, like a head or anything. They are very manageable. So that's the way I'm working at the moment. However, I do have an idea of doing Mania. I've never done Mania before, but it would be maybe my version of Mania. As I said, I don't want to have too many projects, but I do have a real immense stash, which in some ways I'm very proud of, and in other ways I'm very ashamed of, but there's a lot in there. So I've been kind of kitting up and getting what I need, so that if I decide to do a form of Mania, that I will have everything that I need. Still sometimes threads can be quite challenging to find, but I've been quite fortunate and I've managed to get quite a few threads in that I need. I'm not going to talk about Mania plans today, but it's just something that's now in the back of my mind that if I do Mania, at least maybe I would start some more projects, and then that's ultimately what I want to do. I want to stitch more and more. I have some notes today. I'm aware that the last 2 videos that I did were, I kept missing things and forgetting things. So I did make some notes today. I wanted to give a shout out to 2 Flosstubers that I have come across. They're not necessarily new, but they were new to me. One of them was called the Contented Stitcher. Absolutely fabulous projects, but I think for me, projects were wonderful. Stitching was great, and her backdrop was very, very inspiring for Valentine's Day. She had some lovely stitch pieces behind her as well, and I did message and comment on her video, and she's kind of pushing forward now to change for spring, so I'm looking forward to that. And the other Flosstuber I wanted to shout out was the Lancashire Stitcher as well. She's only new to me, not necessarily new making videos, but a great stitcher in terms of the range of different projects that she does. Really enjoyable to listen to. So I'll link them below in the description box, but both of them for me were absolutely very inspiring, I would say, when I watched them the last couple of weeks. Now I have some time for haul, and you know me, always like a bit of haul. I have a bit of a mixed bag with haul. The first thing I wanted to share with you is that if you watch Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, she, in one of her videos in the last 2 weeks, showed her finish of The Visitor. I don't know if you are familiar with the chart, so I'll just show you it so you can see the picture. Okay, so here we are. It's this one here by the Blackberry Rabbit. And I've managed to track down, I think, all the called for. If it's not all the called for, I'm pretty close. It'll only probably be 1 or 2 missing. So that's not an immediate start, but I'm thinking maybe that will be my birthday start this year. I haven't chosen fabric or anything. I've just got the chart. I got it from Peakside Needleworks here in the UK, and I got most of the threads from there as well, which was very good. The next piece of haul is something that I managed to get off of eBay, and I don't know if this chart is widely available. I've never seen it before, but it's this chart here, and it's by the Scarlet House, and it's polka dots and alphabets. So I don't know if anyone else has stitched this. 2014, so it's not new, but I really liked it. Now, it's stitched on 32 count Belfast, the Petty Point, the natural linen. with the little red dots. I think you can see there in the picture. So then I went looking for that, didn't I? And I finally found that. I couldn't get it here in the UK or in other parts of Europe, but I finally found it at 123 Stitch, 123 Stitch, which I ordered. So I am still waiting for that, and I've already started with the threads. This is another one that, yeah, is going to be on my radar, I think, pretty soon. I really like it. And if you've stitched it, can you let me know, or link it maybe? If you know, if you have it on Instagram, or if you're on Flosstube, then let me know, because I would be quite interested to see how it's stitched up. So yeah, I found that was on eBay. And the threads, I had some in my stash, and I think I ordered some other ones, probably in the same order from Peakside. Just like the reds. Chalk. I think it's black licorice, chalk, and Buckeye Scarlet's the red. So yeah, I got that one. And because I like the Scarlet House so much, which I do, I don't know where this addiction came from. I worry that it becomes a bit like my Blackbird Design addiction, then I'm in real trouble. And it's this one here. And I think a couple of people have shown this on Flosstube that they had purchased it. It's called the Little Deeds Sampler. It says on the back here 2019. So yeah, I got that one as well. And it's not huge, 129 by 157, but I really like that one as well. So I also purchased that. I don't have any threads. I literally just purchased it. And I got it from Arts and Designs here in the UK. So again, apologies for being a bit of a hot mess, but that's the company there I got it from. Okay, so I think that just came in the other day there. And because I've not got enough to stitch, the final chart that came in, and I bought this directly from the designer. This is a By the Bay. I have a few By the Bay charts. I don't have anything stitched up. And I don't actually think I have anything kitted up. But when I order, well, when you order from By the Bay, first of all, the shipping here to the UK was super quick. Was super quick. It was not long at all. So you get a little card that's got a quick freebie on the back. And this is the one here that I wanted. I hope you can see that. And it's called Halloween Cove. And actually, what made me purchase it is someone on Instagram had stitched it, and I just fell in love with it. And do you know what's really cute? That's a photograph that's on the front. It's not a printed picture. It's an actual photograph. So that'll add to my By the Bay collection that I've got. But that's also a possible start come maybe autumn time. That was my charts. That's what I bought, chart-wise, and a few threads. But what I also purchased in the last 2 weeks since I saw you is some fabric. And the fabric is from a company called the Wee Linen Company. Don't know if you can see that. This was a card that came in with my order. So it's the Wee Linen Company. They are based in Wester Ross, which is the northwest of Scotland. Somebody had recommended them to me, either on Instagram or YouTube. Someone either messaged me or somebody told me about them. So then I went on the hunt, and at that time, Rebecca, who I believe it's her company, had said to me, yeah, the next time I am dyeing is the end of January. You can place your order then, and she's got a website. So I was like, no problem, placed my order. She has quite a compact range of fabrics, all neutral based, and she has various different counts. And what happens is she I don't know, to be honest, I should have maybe investigated this a bit further. But what happened was that she had told me, this is when I'm going to be selling fabrics again. You go on, you place your order. She then invoices you. When you confirm your order, she'll then invoice you, and then your fabrics come out like a few weeks later. That was basically how it worked for me. So, excuse the crinkle. I ordered 2 neutrals. I wasn't sure what I was going to get in terms of what you see on a website is not always how they are in real life. So I just kind of chose a couple that I thought would be useful for my Blackbird design addiction. So this was one of them. This was one of the vintage range. And I must say, in all the fabrics that I've purchased, the hand-dyed fabrics, the presentation of this for me was spot on. It was exactly to my taste, and it was well packaged. It was clearly packaged. Yeah, and I'm not saying other dyers don't, because that's not true. Other dyers, they package fine, there is no problem, but just the whole aesthetic of it was to my liking. So that was one piece that I got, and the other piece that I got, these are both 32 counts. As I say, I struggle with higher. I can go 36, 38 is a real problem for me, and 40 is, yeah, I can't do it. And this was the other piece. So there you go. That's the colour. Now, you can see here, these are large pieces. Price-wise, I thought they were very reasonable. I didn't think they were overpriced. I think the quality for me is definitely there. This was the other piece. That's the full piece. And I'll do a comparison so that you can see the difference. As someone who has a bit of an addiction for neutrals, I like to be able to see what the difference is, because not all neutrals are the same. So here you go. Okay. So you can see that there is the vintage one has some very clear mottling, and the other one's more of a solid colour, but the colours, let me see, that might be a bit spot on, to be honest. Yeah, so that was a whole new experience for me. Thoroughly pleased with the purchases, and as a result, I will make sure when she dies again at the end of February that there will be another order placed for me, because these are perfect types of fabric for me. Now, I had one final purchase here. If you just bear with me, it's a couple of needle minders. Yeah, this one here. And one that I think is on a project. So now I need to think which project it was on. Oh no, here it is here. So I bought a couple of needle minders. Now, there's a little bit of a story here with these needle minders. I bought them from Becca's Needle Minders on Facebook. I believe she's just a new start-up for needle minders, and she did some cat ones. So you know I'm a bit of a sucker for cats, and the other one is for, it says Cats and Coffee. I'm not sure which project that's on, but here is one of them. You can see that. Stay positive. Then there is the Cats on the Coffee one, hiding in amongst a project somewhere. And then this is the other one. And there's little tiny, hang on, it's not very clear. Maybe this will work. It's Saturday. It's been an extremely long week. There's a lot happening. Here is the other one. I mean, who doesn't like a goldfish with a witch's hat? So yeah. So when I ordered from Facebook. There was no problem. She's got some cute packaging. They came really quickly. And she's also got a website. So we were having a chat, Rebecca and I, and she, if you're interested and you want to buy a needle minder and you're in the market for a needle minder, I've got a discount code. Let me say now, I paid for my needle minders There's no connection between Rebecca and I. Literally, just if you're interested and you want to buy a new needle minder, she's got quite a few cat ones. She's got some other stuff, so you can certainly go and have a look. You can get a 10% discount if you use the discount code ALBASTITCHER. I will put the details in the description box below, but there's no connection between us. It was literally just a conversation over Messenger. So on Facebook it's Becca's Needle Minders, and her website is beccaneedleminders.co.uk. I will list them both below, so that, yeah, if you want to go and buy some needle minders, you can save yourself a few pennies if you use the discount code ALBASTITCHER. One of the final things I wanted to talk about was Needlework Expo. As we all know, there's no Nashville needlework market this year, but there is a kind of virtual needlework expo going ahead. There's a fantastic if you follow on Instagram Needlework Expo, what you will find is that there's lots of sneak peeks coming out from the designers, and there's also some full reveals as well. For me personally, there's been a couple of designers which, of what I've seen, I've loved, and that's the blue flower. Everything that I've seen that's to come out from the blue flower, yeah, Janine, you're just going to get my money. That's what's going to happen. You're just going to get my money as soon as I can get my hands on these charts. Super cute, right up what I would say my alley, what I like to stitch. And the other one that I saw that I really liked, I think it was from October House Fibre Arts. Now, I've never had any of their charts before. I've never stitched any of them, but a couple of their sneak peeks as well were really quite exciting. So that's another one that I am sure I will have a lot of haul for. I believe it's the 1st, is it the 6th and the 7th of March? So it's in a couple of weeks' time. And then hopefully we'll be able to get the new charts from our local needlework. Not that I have a local needlework shop, it's all online. So yeah, if you're on Instagram, I would say follow Needlework Expo, because that's where you're really getting the insight as to what's coming up. Can I check my notes? I think that's it. I think it's been successful that I didn't forget anything. So that's all that I've got to share with you. Again, I will get better. It's all a bit all over the place. Maybe I should have waited another week to do the video, but hey, I've done it anyway. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all staying safe. I hope soon we will all return to some sort of social life and maybe getting out and about. I hope you're all stitching. For those of you that are in Texas, I hope that your life has not been disrupted too much. I've seen some quite horrifying pictures, both on the news and on the social media. So I hope you're all doing okay and life gets back to some sort of normality. But I think with that, it's time for me to say bye-bye. Stay safe, take care of each other. Emotionally, stay strong, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. So take care. Bye-bye.